Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday Morning Circus. I found a clown movie, a new one, a 2024 movie, and in particular about a topic that I like very much. It's about John Wayne Gacy, serial killer, Pogo the Clown guy. This is called Gacy Serial Killer Next Door 2024 TVMA. 1 hour and 37 minutes. It is a horror movie about a teenager's life in a quiet suburb changes drastically when John Wayne Gacy, a famed serial killer, becomes his neighbor. His curiosity leads to dark secrets and a frightening journey from innocence to a dire clash with evil. Written and directed by Michael Pfeiffer and starring Mason McNulty as Bobby. That's the boy, that's the neighbor. And Mike Horich plays Gacy. Howard, the dad, is played by Brock Burnett. And Kayla Coley plays Darlene. And if I'm correct, she is the wife of the writer-director. Yes. And she's a little bit older. She's older than I am. And she's playing the mother of a teen boy, which I suppose is okay. I did think she looked good for her age, attractive. You could tell there was some work done. I don't know what this has to do with the movie review. It's just something that I noticed. I think she kind of got the role because of being married to the writer director. Um, the opening was really cool. I liked the opening sequence of this movie. We see Mike Horich as Gacy doing the pogo clown makeup, and I love that look. It's creepy as F look. It's often imitated, never duplicated, but it's a good full clown makeupy look. But then after that, I wasn't really big. I think that the guy Mike looked good for the role, and his regular acting, I think, was okay. When he kind of transitioned into this serial killer pogo clown, it was such a blatantly attempt to mimic Joaquin Phoenix Joker. The laughing, the voice. There's a birthday party scene where he's in full makeup, and the voice that he uses is so blatantly the Joker from Joaquin Phoenix. The laughing did become very annoying, and he did the laughing in and out of makeup. I I guess I kind of, when you see Gacy as the first word of the title, I was thinking it was going to be more of a Legend of John Wayne Gacy type movie documentary, which there's tons of them out there. But just be forewarned that this is really more about the story of the kid, Bobby, the neighbor, who meets John Wayne Gacy. When he moves into the neighborhood, Bobby offers his services. He's the neighborhood go-to kid for helping people with their yards and whatever else. And you also have to remember that this is set back in those days. It's not like all of a sudden it's the 2020s when this is taking place. Um, so it's set time period. I didn't really pay a lot of attention for clues whether or not they stayed true to the right years of cars and the right models of telephones and whatever else. I know people do that. But Bobby, meets him through this interaction, and after he helps him move, there's like this dinner scene with Howard and Darlene, mom and dad, and Bobby's talking about the new neighbor, and that uh, the new neighbor must have really worked Bobby hard because he was so hungry. And it was such a cheesy moment. I really thought it was like a real cheesy scene, and it really got my red flag going that this was really not going to be much more than these cheesy moments. And that's what this movie really is. It's a lot of these cheesy moments strung together. There's a story there and there's a fluidness to it, but I think that the portrayal of Gacy was a little rushed in this neighborhood situation where he really didn't make any efforts to hide the fact that he had men coming home with him. And Bobby has this whole fright night thing going on where he can look right out of his window after hearing a scream and see the the house of Gacy and continually sees men going in but not coming out. And the movie really takes away from the it doesn't take away from, but it's not like a John Wayne Gacy serial killer movie. We don't really see any um, good kills or anything like that. It's this really, I wrote down that this easily as a PG-13 film. And then when you see TVMA, like that makes me think that it was like made for television. Like, I don't know. Uh, but there's nothing new introduced into the lore of Gacy. If that was like for myself, I was kind of looking for some different aspect of it. I don't even care necessarily if you stay true to the documentaries or whatever else. I mean, have creative license and take some liberties with the story. That's fine, and that's I guess what the attempt was here. But the focus was more on the kid being suspicious and then trying to find evidence and like sneaking into the house or sneaking into the backyard. And um, there was so few elements of John Wayne Gacy's lore. Like, there's only one time mentioned by one of the guys that why does his house smell? What is that smell? And Gacy's like, this doesn't, it doesn't smell. And then it's not to the very, very end when we get to where Gacy's digging the trenches underneath his house. And there's a lot of time spent underneath the house too. And some cringeworthy moments of dad saving the day. Um, but overall, Pogo the clown really makes a cringeworthy appearance at that um, birthday party, and Bobby actually tries to call him out in front of everybody because, of course, as you know, these movies do, when Bobby goes to his parents with his concerns about what's going on, they don't believe him. Oh, he's such a nice guy. You're just confusing it. And so at a birthday party, I don't know if it was his birthday party. I think it might have been Bobby's. Uh, John Wayne just shows up, and it doesn't appear like he was hired to do this, that he just showed up, and nobody's digging it. Nobody in the group, the parents and the other kids, Bobby's friends, nobody seemed to be digging it. Bobby tries to kind of get smart mouth with him and call him out, and refuses to call him Pogo, calls him his name, asks him what's going on. Where's your mother? Where's your mother been? To the point where, like, the one real best intense scene was during that when John Wayne Gacy has a few words privately with Bobby. But other than that, it kind of morphed into a couple of scenes of Bobby now talking to his four other friends that easily could have been mimicking the group of kids in the movie It. And I thought, wow, they're just trying to do a lot of things here. And then the kids don't end up really having any point of the story other than just to, I guess, close out the birthday party scene. And then we have the slow build, slowest, uneventful, kind of supposed to be very intense, suspenseful ending. And I did write one note that there were some very good song choices. There was about three of them where it was actual songs being played over scenes, and those were actually pretty well thought out, I think. But otherwise, this is just meh. If you're looking for a documentary about Gacy or something that does something with Gacy a little differently, this isn't going to be that movie. Um, Unfortunately, we do get to see some clowny action, though. I mean, that's kind of cool with real clown makeup. So that's what I look for these Saturday morning circuses, is to have some clown thing. I think this is not quite horror, at least for me. It's the only tag that it's being given on IMDb. I would, if I were doing this, remove the horror tag altogether and just have it be a thriller, a drama. drama thriller, teen coming of age movie for Bobby, having to endure this stressful time in his life. But horror would definitely not be the tag I would use. This was on Tubi. I don't know if I said that. Of course, that's where I find my clown movies. It's on Tubi. So you can check this out. And if you do, come back to this video and leave a comment and let me know what you think. Otherwise, let me know what you think. Are you a fan of John Wayne Gacy? Are you a pogo for life kind of guy or girl or gal, kid, whatever? Hit the like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see my next best video.
Row 18, plot 20.